Fonzie had the great idea last Friday to ask the team for their 2024 predictions. Elon Musk's downfall. I like this.
I'm pro Elon. I like him. He's aggressive. He's an innovator too.
Think about creators like Emma Chamberlain. She used to have a daily vlog, for example. Or Casey Neistat, right? Who stopped for a while and then he came back. And for them, in their eyes, that's higher quality. Not only the quality of the content, but also the quality of their life. There's going to be a lot of rejection about AI created content.
I feel like people are getting tired of it, yeah.
And I had a little bit of a fight the other day with a trading card shop owner. He told me that women's basketball was going to be bigger than soccer. I just laughed at his face.
I have one.
No.
Arsenal will become the champions of the Premier League 2024.
After how many years?
Let's go.
After how many years?
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
We've got some
Hey,
fresh new
I'm
young
Luis.
talent
And
doing some
I'm
things that I know
Luis.
you haven't
And you're
heard
listening to the
before.
Content is Profit podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Content is Profit. Happy Monday. Happy 2024. As Monday, as in we're recording this. What's up, Fonz?
Happy 2024. Hopefully this doesn't go out in February.
I know, it's like early, but today we thought we'd do something a little different and super exciting. Fonzie had the great idea last Friday to ask the team for their 2024 predictions, worldwide and content-wise, and we're gonna go over some of the answers.
Yeah, we didn't get too many of the worldwide predictions. I think people were afraid.
They're afraid. Maybe.
But it's okay. We got plenty of social media predictions and content predictions, which, you know, is the main purpose what we're here for, right? Where are we going to steer this year so we can make that profit,
That's right.
That's why you're here. Content's profit, baby.
Content is profit, baby. All right, Fonzie, so you want to get started? Do you want to do some of the teams first, or do you want to do yours first?
Let's do some of the teams first. I'm going to start with the first one here. And actually, it's he's not the only one that talks about this one. Two of our team members mentioned long-form content resurgence, meaning long-form is coming back. You've seen it, you know, these past few years. I feel like it was all about TikTok, Instagram Reels, right? Even other platforms like Reddit, Twitter, now X, they were all including the short form type of content, the infinite scrolling, the doom scrolling. And I feel like people are getting tired of it, yeah. In a way. I think, again, it's a very popular way still, obviously. It still attracts a lot of eyeballs, but I think people want more. People are realizing how addicting, you know, the side of mental health, right, of just being there, scrolling and consuming so much information. But at the same time, it's not like you're consuming and getting smarter, you know. I'm not gonna say, you know, pointing fingers or anything. But I think people want some more quality, some more depth in the message. Therefore, I mean, and you see it actually, TikTok is including more long-form content, right? Eventually, they started allowing 1 minute, 3 minutes. Now I think they're up to 10 minutes. Yeah. And I think they are going to open it up for even longer videos. You know, they're big now on search. People actually go and search a lot of stuff on TikTok. So opening the doors now to long-form videos is going to potentially, you know, help people that might have a podcast, you know, land some new listeners from TikTok and all these spaces. Again, people are looking for more quality, more depth, more connection.
Yeah, I think, I mean, operationally, right, like it's also challenging, right, to keep up with maybe the volume. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were saying, like, this is the agency owner, they do 66 pieces of content a day, right? So, like, who can sustain something like that? Obviously, you know, there's system and processes along those lines, but it can get very exhausting. We deal with a lot of creators that even the creative process, right? You are managing your company. You might be doing meetings. So at the end of the day, what works for you? And obviously, we're big fans of long form. And I love that prediction because I agree 100%.
Yeah, of course. Biased prediction right there.
Another one that they share was, you know, AI make content boom and crash. There's going to be a lot of rejection about AI created content.
So I think what it meant is that in this same year, it's going to boom and then it's going to crash, right?
I think we're in the middle of that boom in a sense, right?
Yeah,
right?
I think there's still quite some time to go. Actually, I saw a post the other day showing how AI now can pass human on camera verification, right? I mean, like you can take a picture, like those pictures that you send to Verified, whatever. AI can pass it. Like that is extremely scary, right? So I think, yes, there's a lot of potential, obviously, to do things with AI.
Yeah.
But in a sense, that's going to make people not trust a lot of creators or a lot of things that they consume out there, which, I mean, trust is a key part of the selling process, right? And at the end of the day, if you have a business, part of why you create content is to build trust, deliver value with your audience. And I think for people now, or eventually towards the end of this year, they're going to seek, connectivity. They're going, again, what we said, depth, but the way for them to get it is probably going to be to shake some hands or find a way to know for real that is a human behind the content and not just AI.
I mean, you saw it before AI was a thing, right? Like you saw it with like the DMs with the virtual assistants, and like it's not really personal, and it created just a lot of rejection, right? So I think
exactly.
If it's like a robot or AI, probably there's going to be those people who are going to get as close as possible. We're going to try to get as close as possible for higher volume like that and try to fake authenticity in a sense. But that's going to probably come across. People are going to be able to recognize that. And at the end of the day, it's probably not going to help a lot of businesses, right? So,
I think there's a boom right now, certainly, where people can leverage that, and you're seeing it. I feel like on YouTube, they got lots of faceless channels that are making a lot of money, faceless, real channels that are making a lot of money. They're getting a lot of traffic, but until when, right? I think there's going to be that point where things are going to have to start changing a little bit.
Also, I want to point out, I'm personally not against AI. I think it's a great tool to leverage and include part of your process. But if everything is AI, right, like where's the limit? So keep an eye on it. And if you are using AI right now for your stuff, let us know. Put it in the comments. Send us a message. How are you using it? How's it helping you? We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely there's ways to use it. And then there's ways to abuse it. So don't go there. Don't abuse the AI. Now, this one is a little bit of an overlap. Both of them mention more ethical use of social media. And actually, I like this one a lot. Apparently, in the European Union or a parliament in Europe, approved a project to prohibit the infinite scroll. I think that's going to be very, very interesting. And let me tell you why. Because social medias are businesses, and they're there to make money, right? And you've heard it. If you're not paying for it, you are the product, which that is it, right? You are the product that the advertising companies are relying on, and the social medias are relying on to get paid. So the more you scroll and the more ads that they can show you, the more the companies that are advertising on those platforms are going to spend. Now, if you cap the scroll, how much people can consume on these social medias, I think social media is going to have to reinvent themselves and find new ways to profit, right, from you. So they're going to, I think, what we saw this past year with X creating a subscription and then Meta creating a subscription as well. I think we're going to potentially see more of that, right, where you're going to have to pay a certain amount of money to be able to consume content here, or they're going to find some sort of workaround to keep you hooked on the infinite scroll.
I mean, at the end of the day, right, I think this comes from, a lot of people maybe abusing the system or the way that, content is created. Maybe not malicious, right? But it's like, hey, for us to be successful as a business, right, we need to create this type of content that, the consequence is mindless people going through their feeds or, creating maybe an addiction, anxiety, right? And that's just the platform, right? And the way that the platforms are defending themselves is like, hey, this is everybody makes their own decisions type of deal. But I do think that I actually like that. I actually like it because, we're human and we find ourselves scrolling mindlessly sometimes through social media, right? And I think that will be helpful, right? There's tools today that actually like block your social media time and different things to help you out. But I think the world is going to, lean a little bit more into that. And it's going to be interesting to see what the response is from companies and people creating.
Yeah. There's also no surprise that all these companies engineer their apps with the intent to get you hooked in there, right? And there's actually one of our clients sent me this post the other day. There's a huge lawsuit right now against Meta because of this exact issue and how they were targeting, younger people, right? Younger than 18-year-olds on how to keep them hooked on these platforms, which is very, 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 very dangerous. So, the rise of ethical social media. We'll see where that one goes. I think that's going to be an interesting one. Yeah. Another one over here. What you got?
I like this one. Quality over quantity, right? Like YouTube, they've been working a long time through this model, in a sense, where the response from the audience is they're leaning a lot into that, right? I think I'm a YouTube consumer. I consume a ton of stuff there, not only podcasts, but I like some video creators, right? And you see the trends also on them throughout the time, like what they like to create. So there's obviously a lot of people that go like, hey, more volume, more things, whether that's like the internal reps that they want to put in. But at the end of the day, they come to a limit and they're like, man, I don't want to be on this hamster wheel anymore. And then they start creating the things that they consider quality, right? Like think about creators like Emma Chamberlain, right? Like she posted, I think, 3 videos on YouTube where she used to have a daily vlog, for example, and she's happier and more fulfilled and different things, and she's been connecting with other people. Or Casey Neistat, right? He stopped for a while and then he came back to not a daily vlog, but maybe a weekly video type of deal. And for them, in their eyes, that's higher quality, not only the quality of the content, but also the quality of their life, right? So if you're into this and your company is looking to create something like that, where do you fall in the spectrum, right? So the prediction here is obviously the quality content is going to rise above the quantity content. What do you think?
I agreed. Definitely quality content is going to be better. Something about the examples that you use, they were already huge and they got there by a lot of hustling. Quality, they had quality, but also they had lots of quantity too, right? Like Emma, I think she used to do the daily vlog too, same as Casey Neistat, right? So there was a lot of hustle, but that doesn't mean that you can have less volume that they had and still make it big. I think there's channels that are doing just that, and actually, this is one of my personal predictions. This one is not here. I think that ties to more series, less general videos, right? I think people want to consume some sort of series. And I actually got myself hooked on this random kid that showed up on my YouTube about a series on poker. This guy started a series, I'm going to bet my entire net worth. And I was like, whoa. His net worth was like 20K.
Yeah, they want a beginning and an end, right?
They want a beginning and an end, but the whole thing was an adventure. And you can tell he scripted this thing. Was his editing the best? No, his storytelling was absolutely amazing though. And actually, his editing was sort of creative because instead of using like fancy graphics, he would draw everything in like Microsoft Paint, which was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
But again, it was a series that ended on Christmas. And now he's starting a new series, which is pretty much like the sequel to the previous one that he just did. And I was thinking, wow, this is absolutely amazing. I think that's more of what people want to see, Again, the previous one was like the daily vlog, like let me be a part of your life every single day. But people don't have time for that anymore. People have, and they're realizing there's so many options out there, so many things to consume. Let me know that I'm investing my time into something that has an end. I think that's very important. Yeah. And I think that's going to translate into shorts, reels. Again, not only long-form content, but also short-form content. What are some series that you can create?
I think it'll be interesting on the content-wise for like companies. It's like, hey, we're going after, the next 30 days, we're going after this massive client. Like, follow along to see what happens, right? Like, how can businesses on the B2B world, for example, adapt that series strategy to what they're doing, right? Or we're on a quest to do the perfect hire. I was telling you about the Lego documentary I watched the other day. Yeah. And hiring them, like the hiring process for like the head Lego designer or like people that build Legos for a living, right? And I thought it was like, wow, what an incredible concept if you want to do like a 30 day or 30 video series on that thing. I think that would be super, super exciting. You get to meet the people, you get to see the personalities behind it. And then me as a consumer, I mean, I have no interest in working with Lego because I enjoy it as a product, but I don't think that's for me. But it created like this bond with the company, right? And at the end of the day, that's really what you want. So I think it'll be interesting. What can we do here?
Yeah. fun fact that just came to my mind. That content also serves two purposes. One is to find ideal hires. People are going to see that and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this company is absolutely amazing. I want to work for them.
Yeah.
And then it also, for the ideal customers, because it brings them into the company. And like you said, it makes you feel bonded to them. They're like, wow, this is how they do things. These are the people that work in there. I want to support more of this company. So I think that's a excellent example of how businesses can leverage media nowadays is do something, right? For example, the Two Brothers show that we've talked about. We can do series on which we bring influential people. So that is for the audience, right? And now they're learning from these influential people in a specific topic, right? So let's say it's poker just because I'm into it right now, right? And we start bringing like poker people and we start talking to them. But on our side, how we get value from it as well is then we have the connections and the network and all these poker people that we bring, they're creators, right? And now we start getting them.
Help them produce.
Yeah, we can help them produce and show like that. So I think they're going to have to start thinking not so linear with content in terms of, hey, I'm doing this because I want to grow my audience. But it's like, all right, I'm doing this, and these are all of the tangent benefits that we can get from this and whatnot, and then plan from there. I think it's going to be very, very interesting.
I like it. I like this other one too. Insert audio language in your YouTube videos. You know how you can insert like now automatic captions in different languages? It's going to be actual dubbing inside of the video, where like you will not have to go pay for a dubbing company to go do this, but AI.
Well, no, I think you misread it, because it's actually you do the dub, but it's inside of the same channel. So you know how Mr. Beast has Mr. Beast Spanish?
Yeah. Well, that's a prediction. I'm leveling up that prediction.
Oh, you're leveling up the prediction.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a time, maybe at the end of 2024, where that dubbing will actually happen
just
inside
AI.
of the platform. Yeah,
potentially.
That'll be interesting, and it'll be so much easier and cheaper.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much easier. But you know, he did mention here, one of our team members. He mentioned that it's actually a good opportunity for studios to start doing voiceovers and whatnot, right? So grab one of these YouTuber videos or their whole library, start dubbing over them, and then you can send them that file and they can just add it to the video. I think that's going to be pretty good. It's a pretty good opportunity until the platform does it by himself. And actually, fun fact, I think that app already exists. So they might just buy the technology and then implement it, right? I don't think they have to start anything from scratch. I actually saw an ad the other day, which was this guy sitting down and he's like, so this is my voice in English. And then the same voice, identical, just started speaking in Italian.
Yeah.
And it was saying, and this is my voice in Italian, but in Italian. And I was like, whoa, that is absolutely crazy. So the technology is already there. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if companies like, YouTube go purchase this, and then they, like you said, they just implement it inside of YouTube, cutting down the middleman, the dubbers. So dubbing can be a profitable venture in the next couple months.
Yeah.
But you probably have to dive into it very, very fast before AI can take over, and then, they'll be taking all of our clients. It reminds me of Rev.com. Do you remember that site?
Yeah.
Rev.com is where we used to do our subtitles. Yeah. Pretty much human subtitles at that point.
Yeah.
And we would have to pay for every specific one. And then all of a sudden, this script came out, automatic transcriptions, like all these things.
The applications start.
And the other day I was actually curious what happened to Rev. And I went on, and they've kind of changed their business model. They still do that, but they change a little bit of their business model.
Like white glove version, probably.
Yeah. And I was like, well, they did have to adapt, because if not, they were going to die.
Yeah. I wonder how many people got fired.
Yeah, probably.
Here's some of my predictions, right? I think more and more businesses are going to be controlling their own media, right? I think the agency model will change. Like we have an agency model, right? And we're currently having conversations on how can we evolve that side. But I think more businesses are going to bring teams inside, and they're going to be able to control that pivoting a little bit faster, right? Like they can have an internal meeting and be like, hey, this is the series that we want to do for the next quarter, and they're going to be able to develop that internally. I think traditional corporations would dive into the creator economy, right? NFL, for example, apparently what I saw the other day in a study is like their audience is dropping massively. So they've been investing first in gaming, right? Because they saw that the kids that play the video game become fans of the teams based on the video games, not where they live, which is super interesting. For example, we live in Jacksonville with the Jags. The Jags, I think, is the biggest team in Europe, in England, because obviously the owner has a team over there and they go play every year. So they've developed a fan base overseas, which is very interesting. So they're going to be doing that with creators.
I mean, but that's literally a playbook move from European soccer. They go and do their preseasons all over the world, and then they get fans all over the world.
I mean, the real football. Just so you know. Bring on the haters. I don't care. But I think NFL, more companies are going to be doing that, and they're going to see creators as these like digital real estate where they can actually influence their audience and collaborate and grow together, right? Obviously, on the flip side of that, individual creators, because they built this incredible community and people that really follow them, they're going to be launching and partnering with companies at a faster pace that you see it, right? Like you see Jimmy with Mr. Beast, like with the chocolates and all the products that they're launching, Logan Paul with like Prime drinks, right? Like these are obviously massive examples, but they're going to be creating some partnerships in it, and they're going to be able to move way faster as we do this. So we're going to probably be seeing more of that. And then the podcast becomes the main way to build business relationships. I think at this day and age, right, if it's not already, I think more people are going to be diving in just for the connection part. Like apart from like the benefits of the content that goes out, just for the connection part is gonna continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree. Podcasting is just going to keep growing. It has been growing in the last couple of years. I also think extremely valuable for those that are in podcasting, because most people that jump into podcasting, they don't last too long, yet the listenership base still growing at a consistent pace, which means, you're in a growing industry. And I do believe also sponsors are going to look for more, medium, low influencers type of deal to cut deals with them, right? And give them money and get their audiences, people that can build community. I think that's going to be very important as well, right? Small niche down communities are going to be very, very important. So if you thought about launching your podcast or have a production team behind your podcast, just know, obviously, we're going to plug yourself right here. We can help you out with that. Here at Biz Bros with Content Momentum, we can help you. Or if you're in Jacksonville, Florida, swing by Studio Podcast Suites, and we'll help you create that podcast that you have in mind, launch that into reality.
Absolutely. All right, world predictions. This is not content specific. This is
honestly, I think like there's only one that is like, out of the ones I'm reading, I think only one is like world prediction, because the other one has to be with content too.
Mine?
I didn't read yours.
Yeah.
All right.
Where are yours? You missed the homework.
Yeah, I missed it. I don't have any world predictions.
Okay, so the first one here from one of our staff members is Elon Musk's downfall. I like this. Too many failures and controversy will force him out of company leadership. I personally don't know if I agree with that one, but I think that's a fun one to go over.
Yeah.
I think he is...
It's funny, actually, because yesterday I saw a clip that was saying Elon Musk was laughing at, and I don't remember the name of the company, like 10 years ago. And it's a company that just surpassed him as the biggest EV electric vehicle.
It's a Chinese company.
I think it's from the US.
The one I read was from China.
From China, well, maybe. I'm not as educated in this, but the point is a company where Warren Buffett is an investor, and they are selling now more electric vehicles than Tesla. So maybe it is the beginning of the downfall of Elon Musk.
Apparently, nobody knows the name of that company, so Tesla could be still more valuable.
Man, who knows? I mean, I think Tesla also has like solar and all that stuff. I think they do a whole bunch, not just cars. A bunch of
stuff. But yeah, I mean, it'll be fun to see that. I honestly think that guy will continue to build amazing things and will continue to be a headline source for many.
I want to make it clear. I'm pro Elon. I like him. I like the way he markets. He's aggressive. He's an innovator too. He goes out there and I think he saw a good opportunity with X, and he just went on and took it. Yeah. So I'm excited to see. Actually, I enjoy a lot of. I used to hate going on Twitter. Now I enjoy going on X. I have seen considerably way less bots. Is it toxic? like any other social media, yes, there are still is toxic corners.
Daily dose of toxicity.
But I'm enjoying it, actually. I'm enjoying it.
No, that's good. All right. I think the other two were a little bit more content related, so we're going to skip through those.
I have one.
No.
Arsenal will become the champions of the Premier League 2024.
After how many years?
Let's go.
After how many years?
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Let's go, Arsenal. That's my prediction.
Okay. That's the one and only prediction.
That's my one prediction.
Sounds good. Okay. I predict that people are going to be detaching more from busy cities and they're going to be moving to more remote areas or calm places. I think like mental health is a big thing today, especially with the craziness. And I've seen that happen. I mean, we do live in a little bit of a remote. It's a big city, but with a town feel. And we just had a real estate group come in here and do a session. And all the trends are indicating that people are moving to a more calm space instead of downtowns all around.
Yeah, people want their chickens. People want their own gardens. They want to cultivate their own food. I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty important. I'm actually seeing more, and this might be because of my girlfriend, but I'm seeing more and more reels on people growing their own food or people, making their own bread from scratch. Like, they are not buying as much, and again, we don't have the data for this, but the perception out here, I might be in a bubble, is that people are not, they're trying to stay away from all the processed and kind of like regress back to like a slower way of living, which I'm all in for. I love it.
Yeah, what do you know
want
how
chickens.
to make?
Actually, I want chickens. I want horses. Horses would be fun. Obviously, like 20 dogs too.
Fun fact: we saw 3 horses yesterday, like where we live, and they just stopped at this barbecue restaurant. They just have them tied down next to the cars.
How cool is that? That is awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, we do live in that type of area. But anyways, my second prediction is soccer will be taking USA for the next 3 years, and it will grow rapidly. It's going to become the #1 sport in the United States. Maybe this is not next year prediction. Maybe this is like the next 2 to 3 years, but it's going to happen. I've been getting into trading cards lately, and I had a little bit of a fight the other day with a trading card shop owner. He told me that women's basketball was going to be bigger than soccer. I just laughed at his face. And I invited him to the show to come and talk about this to the two brothers.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I was going to be talking to you because I know nothing about this stuff.
But no, anyways, but I do think that soccer is going to explode here in the United States. What I've seen is obviously you have the first generation and Americans that obviously love their sports, right? But also you have a lot of immigrants and immigrants' kids that are now growing up with that sport. So that's a trend that I've seen on that side is a lot of the kids are asking for the soccer products, right? So I think it's going to be super interesting. I can't wait because obviously we're big soccer fans. So we'll see how that goes. And soccer podcast coming soon, so stay tuned. And then the last one that I have here is like people not caring that much about electric cars. I think people are still going to love their engines, their gas. By the way, electric plants are still, fueled by fossil fuels, just saying.
Yeah.
So
there's
still
a lot
all
of
burning stuff, so...
At the end of the day, people just need to educate themselves. But yeah, they still create a lot of pollution.
Sounds good. Those are kind of fun ones. Obviously, I predict something else. Fonz's family is going to grow. He's going to get pregnant this year. This year, yeah. It's going to happen.
All right. Cool. Great episode.
Do you want to add anything else apart from your, lame soccer prediction of Arsenal winning the Premier League?
No, that's going to be it. My last prediction is that Biz Bros is crushing 2024. Let's go. All
right, guys, with that said, thank you so much for tuning to the Continence Profit Podcast. Go and follow the show in your favorite podcasting platform and on social media at BizBrosCo.
That is right. And if today's episode to help you move one step closer towards your goal or help you come up with some crazy predictions for 2024, please don't forget to share this episode and don't forget to share your predictions and tag us on them. See ya.
Bye, guys.